Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out episode 5 of Steins. I think that we're going to start getting answers very soon within this episode potentially, because the last episode we were really just building up to something. We spent the whole episode kind of just going out looking for the IBN 5100, and yeah, I just think that this episode's maybe going to start bringing those pieces together and we're going to start to see some answers. We're probably going to get more questions because it is only episode 5, but I'm excited to check this one out because I feel like now that we have the 5100 we can start to get answers. We can figure out what the program language is saying, decode it, and we can also potentially learn more about the girl Lightning Finger, or no, Shining Finger, of course, of a Gundam Fighter. So yeah, let's just dive right into this episode. Let's see what we get in this one. Episode 5, Steins Gate. Let's go. All right. Have we made it back? Did we carry it the whole way here? Starting with her is very ominous. What is that? What is that thing? Is that from like a pendant or something? Like a charm for a bracelet? Oh, she's gonna see it. Now you call us Hoin Kyoma. You're just gonna share it? Seriously? Chosen by God.
この人は
ブランカン工房のバイト。
What?
おい、バイト、何油売ってんだ。
That
なんで睨まれた
that was not okay.
お前の目つきが悪いからだろう。
That is she some sort of sleeper agent or no? I have been on to her from day one. I have not trusted her. She just showed up out of nowhere. That was weird. But what was that? Why Makise Kurisu? What's her issue with her? She seemingly has no issue with Okabe Rintaru. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite openings of all time. It's just so good. I really enjoyed it. Out of context, watching blind for the first time, but watching it with the show, it's so good. Starmine Rendezvous. What is Starmine and where are they rendezvousing? We got it.
ごめんなさいね。また急に来ちゃった。いつ来てもいいんだよ。
Yeah.
ラボメンなんだから。
昨日
Number
二度
4.
と来ないと言っていたのだがな。
別に来たくて来たわけじゃない。あんたが手伝うって言うからでしょ。クリスチャンやっぱり来たくないの。
Aww.
いや、そうじゃないの。ここが嫌ってことじゃなくて。
She's scared of the research.
本来であれば。
IBN の5100。
マジすげえよ。さすがオカリン。そこにしびれる。
憧れないけどね。
お
とにかく起動させてみるわよ。
She's always just speaking.
ついた。
これであのプログラムコードが解析できるんだな。
そんな簡単じゃないって。こいつの使い方わからないし。ネット環境がない時代
I don't know how to use this, yeah.
どこできるもんでもないし。とりあえずこれだけパーツが必要。
頼んだぞ常習。
Oh,
当
come
然のような
on.
顔で言うのやめてほしいんだが。
常習だろ。
違う。
オカリン言ってよ。マキセ氏秋葉詳しくないだろうし。
仕方ない。マユリ行くぞ。
マユシーはクリスチャンにラボを好きになってもらえるよう一生懸命案内するのでお留守番しています。
クリスティーナ貴様。まさかマユリもその色かに。
かけとらんわ。
マキセ氏
You're
が
going by
愛しよ
yourself.
ゆり展開切って。
想像するの変態。
Yuri is in the
女
air.
のことを知っていいよね。じゃあまず奥のシャワールームから紹介します。
Wow.
そうもあるんだ。自殺行為っていうか、そもそもなぜあなたはここにいるの？何か脅迫されて無理やりメンバーにさせられたんじゃないの？
Yeah, actually, I want to know about your
マユシーはオカリ
relationship.
ンの人質なので。
Karen's. What?
警察に電話した方が良さそうね。今人質って言ったでしょ。
Yeah.
動かぬ証拠。
違うよ。マユシーは 自分で人質になったのです。
I need you to elaborate on that one.
ウィース IBN5100 は使えそう？
Oh, here we go.
その名前を口にするな。まさかバイト戦士がこんなにパソコンに詳しいと
Warrior.
はな。
IBN のこと詳しい人と知り合いだったから。
That's
なら連絡を取ってもらいたい。
ominous. I don't think that's a good thing. They're dead, or they're in a different timeline. She was spat into this timeline just like
死んじゃ
us.
ったんだもん。
Never
その人
mind.
何年も前に。
うちの助手が何かしたのか？
何も。
先に睨みつけたとか。
Does she know Okabe Rintaro from another timeline?
違うよ。
Is
彼女は何も
that
してない。
something?
それじゃあ
And that version of him died in that
彼
timeline?
女は何も知らない。でも気をつけて、マキセ・クリスには。
Be wary of Kurisu? Why? Yeah, she's...
花火の中継だろう。確か今日だからな。
花火。
She's very
花火
skittish.
聞いたことがある。
Kurisu doesn't know anything yet and be wary of her?
メアド、教えて。
That was weird.
帰りか。
パーツは見つかったの？
ここに全部揃っている。興味があるか？あるのだな。
ああ、もう少しだけね。でもセルンの陰謀とかいう高等無形なものに対する興味じゃない。あくまで事実を確かめたいだけ。
That's fair. You're not gonna buy into conspiracy? You're a realist and a skeptic.
クリスちゃん、
Bye bye, Mayushi.
また来てくれるよね。
That's if I don't get killed by the girl
メン
downstairs.
バーだものね。
Aw.
何を
She's so
聞いてい
cute.
るのだ。助手なのだからラボに来るのは当然だろう。
初メールです。想像以上。すごいね、花火。
Fireworks are pretty cool. Having her mail address is going to be important. Oh shit!
やっぱり落ち着くな。白衣。
ガシッと。俺の目に狂いはなかった。お前は最高だ。
何よ急に気持ち悪い。
白衣。やはり研究機関において白衣こそがユニフォーム。誰も前よりも何度言ってもそれがわからないようだが、お前には分かっているようだな。さあ、
That's funny.
共に手を突っ込んで立とうではないか。
は
早く。
Why?
こう？
そうだ。これぞまさに研究に身を置く者だけが漂わせる知性と恍惚のポーズ。
Oh no, we're hungry.
うるさいな。お昼から何も食べてないのよ。
いいだろう。今日の俺は気分がいい。いらないというのか？やはりアメリカ育ち
カッ
は
プ麺もらうわ。味は何があるの？
醤油と塩だ。
We'll take the soy.
塩味。
Never mind.
それとフォークも。
A fork, not chopsticks. Is that because of the America? The exposure, the time in America?
どうせその端にあるのがウイルスカードでしょ。バレバレよ。
そう思うならそう思えばいい。
じゃあ私はこれをここに置いて。
The
はい。リーチ。
cheap
ほう、助手はドクトルペッパーがいける口か？
Dr. Pepper.
本場で7年過ごしてきたからな。
That's true.
そうだ。
残念だけど。
America is Dr. Pepper
ド
and
クペを飲み交わす友達
McDonald's
という意味だ。共に知的飲料であるドクペの思いを共有し。
とか言いながらこっそり私のカードめくろうとするのやめてくれる？はい、私のカード。
they're very similar but also very
岡
different.
部は対極的視点に欠けていると言わざるを得ないわね。考えているのはいつも自分の作戦のことだけ。相手がどう考えているとか罠があるかもなんて。
It's a trap.
何よ。
今何と言った？
対極的視点に欠けていると言った。事実でしょ。
Why is he being so aggressive? The hell?
岡部と言ったな。
だから何よ。確かに私はあんたより年下だけど敬意を表さない相手には。
違う。俺は法医だ。何度言えばわかるのだ、クリスティーナ。
Yo, you can't tell us what to call you and then call someone the wrong name. Come on. You gotta be nicer to her. She's like going through a lot. She is like overwhelmed as hell.
男の人に怖い顔で迫られて恐怖を感じたとか、その後ほっとして涙が出たとか、そういうこと全然ないし。
Oh, she's been through some shit.
家族に連絡しなくていいのか？
母はアメリカ。父とは7年会ってない。よって連絡の必要なし。
来た。
Who's your father? Oh shit, we did
ミッショ
it.
ンコンプリートセカンド。
Daru, let's go.
あ、まだ何も見てないよ。ただ Z プログラムは出てきて。
I got the Z program.
1973年と書いてあるのか。セルンの設立は
1954年。
IBN5100 が作られたのは
1975年。
この計画のためにセルンは IBN5100 に特殊なプログラム言語を実装させ
That's
た。
crazy.
婚姻にも程がある。きっと陰謀なんか全く関係ない当時の素粒子のレポートかなんかでしょうから。
There is a chance. A
ペ
JPEG.
できねえじゃん。
フランス語じゃないんだ。時空の支配と
Time
それに基づく
control and its
歴史の
destruction of
そうか、
history.
マキセ氏、英語読めるのか。
Rewriting
で
history?
かした助手。お前がアメリカに行ったのも全て今日この時のためだったのだな。
You were brought here for a purpose.
言い換えれば過去から未来までを含む理想郷の実現。
From the
それは
past to the
21世紀に
future.
向けてのセルンの存在意義となるだろう。
理想郷
What?
ディストピア。
So there's just straight up a mittance of this?
Z プログラムでは高エネルギーの陽子衝突を用いた
Possibility of
時空転移実験を
transference.
行う。
Oh
タイム
shit.
トラベルではないか。嘘ではない。やはりセルンは40年も前からタイムトラベルについて研究を行ってきた。
40 years? And we somehow cooked something up in our little lab?
プログラム第2段階リフターの実用化および調整。
リフト
Tuning out the
なんだ
lifter.
昔ちょっとだけ話題になったやつっしょ。イオンクラフトとかって呼ばれていたやつ。
Ionocraft?
つまりブラックホールとリフターの力を利用する。
その先は
プログラム第3段階動物
No! We don't want to use animals. Human experimentation.
人体実験。
Oh.
ヒューマンイズデッド。ミスマッチ。
Mm.
それを見ることはできるか。
これ事実だとしたらマジ国家機密
It
級だって
doesn't matter, we're already in this
ここまで
deep.
来てビビってるの。
お前はもう帰れ。
え？
ここから先を知ったら危険にさらされる可能性がある。
I get the sentiment, but
された天才だろう。
もしかして
that's a really, really
心
nice
配してくれている。
actual thought.
そりゃどうも。でも帰らないわよ。このままじゃ気になって眠れないから。
僕スーパーハッカーだし
Super hacker,
見たと
let's
ころで
go.
足がつくようなヘマはしないっつうか。
わかった。
So is this going to be how Kurisu learns too much?
被験者ジェームス・マッカーシー出身
James
アメリカ。
McCarthy?
実験日2005年1月28日 Z プログラム4実験結果ヒューマンイズデッドミスマッチ
Jeez.
超重力による無限圧縮およびカーブラックホール内の特異点通過に耐えられなかったと思われる。
1921年4月3日。
1921?
ニューヨーク14丁目にてビルの壁面に埋もれるようにして死んでいる男が発見された。身元不明の男性の死体は全身がブヨブヨのゼリー状になっていた。
Oh shit!
なんだ
Oh
これ。
完全ではない。
Jeez, what?
タイムトラベルに成功してるってこと。 Z プログラム4実験日2004年2月15日実験結果ヒューマンイズデッド
Mismatch.
ミスマッチ。1972年10月2日インドターミナルナードゥーシュダル
Jelly
マクリ
like.
の路上でゼリー状になった女性の遺体を発見。
I'm kind of just stunned at this right now. I was not expecting this.
日本の新聞か。
1936年5月24日京都比叡山山麓で遺体発見さる。おかりん
Who was the Japanese
No,
man?
you got
Did we get the name?
けどどうしてゼリー状になるん。
10のマイナス24乗キロの質
I
量
don't even
を
know what that
10の
means.
マイナス19乗メートルのところに押し込んで過去に送るわけ。この穴にこのスポンジを通そうとするようなものよ。だから中身がスカスカになる。
Turning it to jelly. But what about the microwave? How have we been able to replicate that within the lab with bananas?
黙ってないでよ。
I feel like there's still more to learn about all
けど
this.
知ってしまった以上何らかの結論は出さなきゃ。岡部
We're one step closer.
結論決まっているだろう。
は
こっちには未来ガジェット8号電話レンジカッコ仮
The
がある。
microwave.
先に完璧なタイムマシンを作り出
Oh.
しセルンを出し抜く。そして世界の支配構造を作り変えるのだ。
He is pretty nuts. Alright, and with that, we have got certainly some stuff to think about. Some answers and some new thoughts. Like, this episode really did bring a lot of things together, but also just confuse me even more. Especially with the case of Amine. I think that's her name, right? The girl who works downstairs at the CRT place. She's definitely a character that we need to learn a lot more about. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I've got my eye on her because she's pretty sus. She is definitely the most suspicious character that we know right now. She's not making it easy to trust her, at least for me as a viewer. I get that Okabe Rintaro seems to trust her fairly easily. You know, he's even willing to be like, this is supposed to be top secret, but I'll tell you anyway. I don't know why he has that trust for her, but it's really not coming to me. Like, that trust is not there yet. I don't dislike her. I don't think she's the most untrustworthy character. I just don't have that level of trust that I have for a bunch of other characters in the series already. I've been saying this whole time, I think she's part of the organization and stuff. Who knows if that organization is even true? Who knows if CERN is actually the enemy here? We don't know anything yet. We are going based off of what we're being told by our main character here, Hoin Kyoma. And he is eccentric. He throws these ideas around. He throws his words around like they're just weightless. It's really interesting, and I'm curious to know where we actually go with this. Is she part of this organization? Is this organization real? Is she with CERN? Is she even from this timeline? Because she seems to be aware of things or know a different version of Kurisu because of what we learned later in this episode, where it's like CERN is trying to send people to the past. Was she somehow sent to the past? Did she get here the same way our main character Hoin Kyoma did, where he just, all this crazy shit happened and then he showed up here? Like, I feel like that's the likelier of the two. I feel like she probably experienced something similar to Okabe, and that spat her into a different timeline that isn't the one she originally came from, because she's very skittish. She seems to think that Kurisu is this person who cannot be trusted. She doesn't know too much just yet, but be wary of her. Drawing a weapon of sorts. I don't even know what that was. Was it like a baton? Maybe a golf club? Who knows? Maybe it was an antenna from an old CRT TV. Who knows? And then whenever there was the whole thing about the helicopter flying overhead, she was ready to fight or flight. Like, she got into a position that was like, I will fight if I need to. I will run if I need to. It was very defensive. But I don't know if you call it a defensive stance or offensive, because it was a stance that was like ready to fight or flight, like, right? Either one of the two. And she said bombs. I don't know what to make of that. She very clearly is from some sort of dystopian future or some sort of place or location where helicopters flying overhead is a bad thing and can mean they're about to drop bombs. She must be from a future where time travel happened, and so all these wars are happening over time travel. I don't know. And I'm guessing she's here to try to fix things or to try to change things. And so it must be Kurisu from that other timeline who was the one to mess with things and cause all of this bad stuff to happen for her. That's my theory right now, because we're doing too much time travel stuff. There's too much talk about time travel that it's kind of impossible for me right now not to make theories and guess what is going to happen with time travel down the line. Like, we obviously have no answers right now, and I'm just going off of contextual clues and stuff like that. That whole opening section with Amine, forgive me if I'm getting her name wrong, please do correct me down below if I am, ready to fight. She got into an offensive position. Like, that's why I'm questioning whether it is offensive or defensive, because it looked like she was ready to run when the whole helicopter thing happened, but it looked like she was ready to fight when Kurisu was there. Like, nothing even happened. She was just there. I wonder if I can't exactly recall, is this the first time she has seen Kurisu? Like, the first time they've had a run-in together? Because if so, that is very weird that she knew her name already. That kind of does indicate that there has been something in her past that has involved Kurisu. And it's our good pal downstairs, the CRT guy who owns the building, I can't remember his name, who breaks it up and essentially causes her to stand down from attacking. The glare in her eyes, the face, the way that she was animated, it was intense. It was pretty scary. I don't want to get in her bad side because she looks like she could do some damage and she looks like she's been through some shit. And I'm sure that that will come up again down the line. We're only 5 episodes in and something's gonna happen. The name of this episode being Starmine Rendezvous, I don't know what that's about. Could it be related to the little charm thing that Amane was looking at the start of this episode? I think it was the very beginning, right? It was literally the beginning. I don't know what that little charm pendant thing is, whatever it is, but it will be something that will show up down the line. I can say with absolute certainty they would not show us this without a reason. And I don't know what it looks like. It looks like an eye, but I really just don't know. It could also be like maybe the little head thing on a clock, you know, like a grandfather clock, you know, the way they kind of sometimes come to a circle thing and then like a little pointy thing at the end. I don't know how to describe that better, but that's kind of what it's reminding me of, but it does look pretty ornate for that, so I'm not sure if that's what it would be. Daru is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some time trying to figure out how to work this thing because this predates the internet, so nobody knows how to use this thing. It's a very rare thing, and yeah, I'm gonna need some parts. So there's this whole conversation about, well, Christina, you're gonna go get parts because you're my assistant, and she's like, I'm not leaving. Mayushi says, I'm not leaving either. I'm gonna show Kurisu around the lab, and there's like 2 rooms in the lab, so like it's a huge tour. So Okabe has to go by himself, and he goes and finds these parts, and who shows up other than Amane? Yeah, that's why I'm not really exactly trusting her. I feel like this Starmine Rendezvous thing might be in relation to a point in time where the stars align and there's a rendezvous, you know? I don't know yet, but that's a guess. Amane says she knew someone who was pretty efficient and knew a lot about the 5100, but they died years ago. And the way that she's acting and everything like that, it's really making me think that she is she's from a future and was sent back in time to help warn or guide Rintaro. So I know I'm throwing out 2 opposing theories. One, she's from CERN, she's the organization, and she's meddling. But the second theory is that she's actually, hear me out, okay? She's Hoin Kyoma's daughter with Mayushi. Why am I guessing that? Hair color. That's it. That's the only reason I'm guessing that. And her father, Hoin Kyoma, died in this future, and it's potentially Kurisu's fault. And so she's coming back in time to guide him and to try to make things so that they don't go down the way they did. And I think that's maybe also like a good point to why she really likes being around Okabe. Supposedly, she does seem to enjoy being around him. She talks to him every time she sees him. She has all these nice little connections. She seemingly knows about Mayushi and the things she likes. She got her a gold card, you know, because she's aware of the things her parents like, or just, you know, like just ideas, right? This is a theory. It's got no solid ground right now, but you know, she could be their child from the future. But the episode goes on, and you know, Okabe finds the parts and brings them back, and then there's this really interesting scene that I don't have much to add about, but it's kind of good in showcasing that Kurisu and Okabe are very similar, but they couldn't be more different at the same time. I don't know how to word that more cohesively, but they both like lab coats. You know, lab coats are cool. They both like to wear them. They both are very strategic in their own sense, but Kurisu is someone who is always thinking a step ahead about the other people, whereas Okabe thinks about himself. So I think it's kind of telling us that Okabe is very selfish and Kurisu thinks about the others. I don't like that he screams in her face kind of, and he flips shit, and yeah, it's kind of like gross that he does that, but you know, that's part of his eccentricity. You know, he is eccentric and he has displayed behaviors like this before, and it's not really been an issue with anyone else. Everyone else seems to be used to it, but Kurisu clearly isn't. Oh, and they also like Dr. Pepper. That's also, you know, a common thing that they have. A commonality. And then of course we get the meat of the product, the meat of this episode, where Daru hacks into CERN. He hacks into these you know, this database, this program, and the IBN 5100 is able to read it. And thank goodness they have Kurisu with them, because a lot of these reports, Jellyman's report, is in English, and they are able to learn that yes, CERN for the past 40 years has been developing a time machine. Despite all the reports, you know, to the public and everything, news articles, news reports, they are actually trying to develop a time machine. And they've been doing it using a lifter or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it's something that used aluminium. It's like a really small thing, but it hovers, and they're trying to push things through it and allow them to teleport, you know, travel through time. And they have used animals. It doesn't say whether the animals were successful or not. And something else that's interesting, we haven't seen any animals within this series yet. I don't think we've even seen a cat walking around, because, you know, if there was a prominent cat within this series, I feel like we could be like, oh, they're from the future, but there's nothing like that. So yeah, we don't know what happened with the animal experiments, but we know that the human experiments went awful. Human is dead, mismatch. So I don't know what the mismatch means exactly, but it could mean that they are constantly tweaking their experiment and changing it every little bit every so often, and then when they tweak it a little bit, they try another human and they learn that it's mismatched. The tweaks didn't work. But then there's also this question of, if they knew these people died or these people turned to jelly or gel, why did they even bother carrying out the experiments? And so that's where the idea of some sort of domino effect, or like, what's the other one, like a butterfly effect, right, where you change one thing and it changes a whole bunch of things that you can't keep track of. Maybe they are doing these experiments in the present for them, and then that's creating these branching paths. As John Titor was saying, a person dies, but then in another place the person doesn't die. So when the person dies and they're turned to jelly, it creates this other timeline where that person died and was turned into jelly. How are they then able to learn that? I don't know how CERN is able to, but it seems that CERN is able to somehow learn information from these other timelines that they are not in. So maybe CERN has some sort of network set up where all the CERNs in all of these different timelines can send messages to one another. Maybe the 5100 can tap into these different networks, or this one network that has all these CERNs. Yeah, it's something that I hope they do talk about, because it's kind of confusing me right now. Like, how are they able to learn something that probably didn't happen within their timeline? Because if it happened within their timeline, they would have been aware of it happening 80 years ago and stuff like that. But yeah, it is basically made abundantly clear that yes, CERN is experimenting in time travel, and Kurisu is there to learn this. And the fact they're turned to jelly, and the fact that we know that the bananas are turned to jelly, whatever, you know, it looked the exact same, the green jelly look. It's really just making me wonder what the hell happened. Kurisu saw the green jelly banana and was very interested in what they were doing. Did that happen to her father? Was her father the Japanese man? Is he the one who was turned to jelly? And so that's how she was aware of how that looked, what that looked like. She hasn't seen him in 7 years. I think she said she was 18, so 11 years old when he disappeared. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's just all these questions, all this interesting information that I really can't wait to learn more about and get to the bottom of. But yeah, it's really, really fun that we're getting these answers this early. We're getting this information this early. We're not getting answers by any means. And yeah, I just hope that we continue to build upon this, and I cannot wait for it to pay off. This was a really informative episode, a really great one. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm probably going to wrap this one up. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below letting me know your favorite flavor of jelly, right? Favorite flavor of jello, whatever you kids call it these days. And yeah, I will see you very soon. I will be posting another episode of Steins Gate this week, so there will be 2 episodes of Steins Gate every week going forward. That's going to do it for me for today. I hope that if you enjoyed, you will consider checking out another video. I hope that you're able to have a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.